Chirp. What does Chirp do?
He's maybe an arm length from this massive rhino.
Okay. Chirp is going to kind of follow in the wake of what I'm assuming is the parting of this crowd that this rhino is making. He's going to ambulance chase this thing, and he's going to
Yeah, it stopped. It stopped.
Oh, it's stopped.
It's like
okay.
an arm's length from me,
Okay.
and it stopped. The 3 elders are on the ground in front of it, and Bulgag.
Where is Rutabaga's body? In relative to me.
You think there's people maybe standing on her? Like there might be some goblins standing on her because wherever he went down, there is a crowd. Like the crowd has wrapped around the entire.
Okay, but distance-wise, could I make my way?
It's going to take a little bit. I would say that you're probably about 30 to 40 feet, and I would consider this difficult terrain for you to move through the crowd. So you can certainly start making your way to where you saw him fall down.
Yeah, I'll use my whole turn and try to shimmy my way through the crowd over to where he went down.
Okay. So you start doing that, and Granny, you reach the caves, and there are a lot of dead here. There's arrows sticking out of them, and you look about, and you can hear inside tents that there's pillaging going on. There's obviously raiders that came through maybe the north side of the camp, but they're not out and about, and you can get into the caves. The 3 hunters that are running with you, they are at the cave entrance. They're just about to duck inside, and they sort of look back to make sure you're still with them.
Okay. I fake as though I trip slightly, and I kind of fall to one knee, and I'm like, Go ahead, go out, I'll be right there. So I kind of want to get, not quite, but I want them to get ahead of me. And then follow, you can't hold your movement, can you?
Well, we're kind of playing out of, we're not totally in a combat.
Because what she'd like to do is see if they take some arrows before moving with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you go ahead. They do, they disappear in the cave.
Okay, but I don't hear any.
No.
Okay. All right. I'd like to stealth through the rest after them, and also send a message to Zhulzuk and say, "I'm in the caves. Where shall we meet? Don't do anything stupid." You can respond to this message. I can't. It's like a tick.
Okay, I'll say, is there a place I know that we would in the cave system?
Sure. Maybe one where the fresh water's drawn, or one of the.
So I'll say meet where the fresh water's drawn.
Okay.
I'm already on my way.
Okay.
All right. So I would like to stealth.
I don't do anything stupid.
Okay. All right.
So I'd like to stealth through this area and head for where he said.
Okay, so give me a stealth check.
Shiny dice. Hard to read the numbers. That is a 13.
13?
Terrible.
No, there's a lot going on.
Yep.
You're like,
Very focused.
yeah. You get inside the caves, and
Okay.
Granny pauses for a moment as she gets inside the cave, because she can now hear. You think a lot of the children got brought here. You can hear crying, mumbling quiet, and obviously there's goblins in here trying to hide. The hunters that were with you, you can see them just a little bit further ahead. They are looking very pale, like this is not what they're signed up for. None of the warrior caste that sort of work with Golgag on raids and that are here. This is mostly young, old, and nothing really equipped for a fight.
But there's raiders in here right now.
No, everyone that's in here seems to be safe for the time being.
Oh, okay.
But you don't have none of your warrior caste, none of your raiders are here.
No foot.
You have 3 hunters with you, with their bows. and they're used to like chasing down caribou herds, not necessarily raiding or fighting, or they seem to be in a bit of shock. And also, as these like crying and sort of whimpering echoes from the caves reach Granny's ear, there's like this thunderous roar. Something has just happened back by the elders' tent and the fire.
The answer to this should never be yes under any circumstances, but if... Oh, I know I already just have to spell. Never mind. Okay, so I came in here to cast a spell.
You haven't cast spell yet.
When I cast message.
Oh, message, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, well, let's wrap it there then, for you. That's where she is.
Okay.
Rutabaga can make another death save for us.
Is there anything else I can do?
No, unless you roll 20.
So roll 20.
I'm trying.
I'm trying.
18.
18, well, that's another success.
Alright.
Good.
So, as Chirp is making his way through, everything goes quiet just for a moment, and the Hobgoblin on top of the Rhino looks at Golgag, and Golgag says, "The Stormtalons are yours." At which point he sort of lowers his head to this Hobgoblin up on the Rhino, and everybody goes crazy. There's like just a cheer and sort of this raucous, yeah! One thing you do notice, there's no wargs here.
Huh.
The goblins are here, but the wargs aren't.
Okay.
And at which point the Hobgoblin looks down off his Rhino and at the three elders and says, "Where there was once 7, there is now only 3. I give you this opportunity to join the Cracked Fang. Our war party grows every day. You have a chance to make something of it and save those that remain." The three look to one another, and they sort of reluctantly start to nod. And one of them then like stops and stands up. A hobgoblin known as Turag, and Turag is almost as old as Granny, but does not have her reputation. And he stands up and he says, "The Stormtalons are a proud tribe of the mountains, and we do not bow to those." And he doesn't even finish what he was going to say next when Golgag like runs him through from the back with a blade, and just like a bit of blood starts to trickle down, and he's just falls. Golgag doesn't even pull the blade out, and like the conniving little goblins there's all this like and that just sort of ripples through, and the hobgoblins you can see nodding. There's not too many bugbears here, and the one on the Rhino then looks again to the other two and says, "Any other acts of bravery?" And then we'll jump to Zhulzuk. Zhulzuk makes it to the cave. He hears some sort of round of applause, cheers from the center of the camp, but he's not sure what's happened. He can see the caves
I'll
though.
go
He can
into
be
the
in
caves.
there. Okay. So with that, you step into the caves. Granny is there, and we'll say you're at the same entrance, sort of one of the main entrances. It's more wide than it is high. There's a whole bunch of maybe a dozen gathered here.
Not the kids and women.
Yeah. Well, kids and elders,
Okay,
like
oh,
basically grandpa, grandmas, and then there's these 3 hunters with their bows, and they're sort of looking like not sure what to do.
Can I walk up to Big Mama?
Yeah.
I'll look around at the kids and the elders, and I'll just nonchalantly like, and like, we need to move. We need to get deep. They can't keep up, so be it. We leave them. We can breed more goblins.
Together.
Oh, that was the best proposal I've ever heard. No.
I really want to respond because I love roleplay, but it's not my turn yet. Everybody hurry up.
No, you can totally respond.
I can?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna organize this here a little differently now. We're gonna put Chirp and Rutabaga here together because they're in sort of one area of the camp, and you guys are in another area.
Okay.
Or shit.
And I walk. Yeah, just I
So
don't even.
you start walking towards the water,
Yeah, I'm
sort
going
of,
further down.
or are you going to where you know the caves sort of hit an unexplored territory?
Yeah, like we're going deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you start doing that.
And I also look like kind of gather everybody with my eyes and say, onward.
Okay.
While we're walking too, I'll be like, did they all turn? Was every fighter gone?
I didn't see much. I have to assume the worst, but does it matter now?
What matters? Vengeance relies on it.
Vengeance or survival, I'll pick survival, but we can talk about that in a safe place when my belly is full and there's not arrows whizzing past my ears.
Does anyone around us have food on them? No.
You can be like, there's your food, now we'll talk.
There's some mushroom groves along the way. Like
Just
you're
grab
gonna,
a mushroom
You're gonna
and
move
shove
through
it in.
like.
I'll just grab one of the hunters and be like, grab her mushrooms and toss it to the side.
It's like okay, and he runs off to get her mushrooms.
Yes.
Back in the gathering, Chirp makes it to Rutabaga, who's lying sort of. He's not actually being stead on, but there's goblins all around him.
Right. Okay.
You probably have a few broken fingers at this point.
Yeah.
Oh man, the plan was getting here, and then now I have nothing. Can I
Very
like
goblin.
Can I like take a rough guesstimate of how like is he still breathing?
He appears to be breathing.
Okay.
He has a very big wound on the back of his head where the shield clipped him.
Okay.
So you like kneel down for a second, like yeah, that's really the only.
Can I like really disrespectfully grab her or grab him? Sorry, I'm gonna keep doing that for a while.
That's okay.
I'm gonna do my best not to. Grab him by the feet or like a foot, and then just like haul him off.
Yeah.
And like kick and spit the body as I go.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna take the hat off, put it on in like a really shit-eating grin kind of way.
Oh, like
And
this
I'm
is
gonna-
my kill.
Yeah, like yeah, I killed this. And I'm gonna grab his foot and just like
And start dragging.
yeah,
Okay, give me a deception check, but I'm gonna give you advantage.
tight. 10 or 10.
No, that's what we were looking for. We just need to make sure you're not rolling ones or things like that. So you're like dragging them along. They're like, "Oh, look what you bagged! Yeah!"
I got my sword out, like yeah,
And
let's
if
go.
you spit back, a few others spit with you, and
I'm gonna make my way to the edge of the crowd and hopefully towards the caves.
okay. So you're generally getting back in a way. Dragging Rutabaga is not an easy task. And
We're a goblin, right? Like I'm not dragging a bugbear. Okay.
Yeah. You're both goblins, hobgoblins. So you get sort of to the edge, and let's have Rutabaga make that last save.
Hang on. Can we film this too?
Oh
With
yeah.
advantage?
Yikes.
Hang on.
What?
Am I getting helped?
No.
No?
No.
Yeah, I don't think you can get it. Okay, hang on.
Well, if Chirp makes a medicine check on you, but he doesn't have time for that. He's trying to
No.
convince everybody that he's trying to get you
Okay,
out.
go.
He's spinning and kicking you.
All right, here
If
we
we want to get killed
go.
faster, I'll make a medicine check. But
8.
So that's your first failure. So the kicking and dragging has probably not helped.
I don't want to come back to life.
I gotta sell it.
With all this saliva, this is the cleanest you've been in months.
Yes.
Who would want to wake up to that?
So with that, give me one stealth check from Chirp.
Okay. 24.
24. Okay. So you managed to drag Rutabaga into a tent.
Okay.
And there's no one in here, or at least you don't think there is.
Okay.
Okay. Outside, you can continue to hear them essentially disrespecting the two elders that they still have gathered, and then you are pretty sure you hear the guy on the rhino say, "Put the torch to it."
Okay.
At which point there is a lot of cheering. Goblins love fire, so yeah, they're starting to burn down the place. Okay, so those of you moving down through the caves, so you've sent the hunter to get mushrooms. He's like, yes, off he goes. You guys make it to the water, and the mushroom cave is just off the water hole. You've probably got another 200 feet of caves to go before you're into sort of the unknown.
So I'll say eat, fill your belly.
He's not back yet, but he's gone to get them. But you can get water.
Yeah, water. He'll be back with the mushrooms soon.
Okay.
We'll wait a little bit and then we'll move. Anyone who will catch up will catch up. And then we'll keep going.
Do you keep that under your breath?
To her, just to her.
Okay. As you say that to her, you hear a blood-curdling scream from the mushroom grove.
Okay.
And then one of the other hunters that is sort of towards the back of your group yells, "Ward!" And then you can hear them growling in the caves around you. And they've put the wargs into the caves by the sounds of it. Your mushrooms are probably not coming.
I give him a look like, as if he could have known that no food, no talk, run. And I yell, run, and I'm gonna double dash.
So here's what I would like you both to do. You're both going to give me 3 athletics checks.
I'm sorry.
You can substitute an acrobatics check if acrobatics is better. And I need to know how many successes you have.
What's the DC?
DC is 12.
So I have 2 successes and 1 fail.
I have, same. 2 successes, 1 fail.
Okay. And just to be clear, we are going by the, if you can't keep up, you're left behind.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
100%.
Okay.
Especially given that they're only goblins.
So as you run through the caves, you are constantly hearing another straggler get picked off by the wargs. The caves are cracked and they used to be, the water formed them. So they are twisted and the wargs are coming at the group from angles that, with their sense of smell, they are having no problem navigating the caves. And one by one, you hear another one behind you get picked off or
So
torn
do I
down.
know anything about wargs?
Only that they're malicious.
Do I know what their
They're-
natural enemy is? Like that would hunt them and kill them? And is there anything in a cave system that would do that?
Not that you can think of off the top of your head.
Okay.
No. They're sort of apex predators. They're like wolves out in the tundra, right? So, and they're smart. Like, they're not animal intelligence. They have their own language. They're.
Do I know the sound of that rumored thing that supposedly lives in the
Oh, the frost.
Yeah. Do I know that sound?
Yeah, you do.
Can I use minor illusion to make that sound?
Okay. So you're gonna put a howl back through the caves.
Yeah.
It's just a horrible, low, droning howl
Yeah.
that sounds like the wind almost, but it's certainly not. It maybe even, as you produce it and the illusionary sound echoes back through, it even maybe gives yourself a bit of a chill. And you think you give them pause, but you and Granny and 2 others are all that sort of remains of the group that left the mouth of the cave. So you turn to them, and the 4 of you, they're not the hunters are not there anymore. No. And
Is this like an elder or kids or what?
these are 2 young goblin boys that have managed to keep your pace and are small enough that like they're obviously nimble enough to get around through tight cracks in the walls and things like that, and they have managed to keep speed with you.
I look at her and I say, this will slow them down. And I want to stomp on one of their legs.
Oh no! Okay, give me a attack roll.
With what? Just a
As if you were using a proficient
Okay.
weapon, because it's an unarmed attack.
10.
10, well, that's enough. So, yeah, there is a sharp snap as the one kid, like, grabs his leg as he falls down. The other kid looks down at that and, like, just starts running, not with you anymore. He's running back just in a random direction to get away. And now you and Granny run?
Mm-hmm.
And the boy is left behind screaming on the ground, but it's not too long before those sounds are gone.